Good afternoon. How you guys going? Welcome to one more live stream on my new profile here. It is a pleasure for me to be here and to be able to reach English speakers, right? Just came with another profile in Portuguese because I'm from Brazil, but now I'm doing all the PT content, all my experience, all in English for you guys to enjoy. All right. And now today I'm going to invite my student Camila, who got rid of PTE, and you're going to see her improvement, her progress little by little. And if you have any questions, just type it on the chat and you'll be glad to answer them. Hello.
Hello, how are you, Bernardo?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for inviting me for this live. I'm very grateful. It's
Thanks for your
really
time.
pleasure to participate in this live. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. And we met, just a recap here. Do you remember when we first met?
2000, yes, at Isabella's, 2018.
18, 19?
2018.
Right.
2018.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah, it's been almost 3 years.
Yes,
It was
almost
in
3 years.
November or December. I think it was December of 2018, something like that.
Yeah, time runs fast here in Australia, right?
Yeah, it runs.
And most of my students, they come to me and they say that they knew already that they had to do the test, but they were dragging to start studying, you know? Did you feel the same? Did you spend some time?
Yes, actually, it's a pretty common situation especially when you get in Australia or anywhere, like I think you want to. Well, I will tell about my case. So I was studying English, so I wasn't feeling comfortable yet for a test. But like looking back today, I should have started that. But anyway, so water under the bridge, so I started at the right time. But yeah, I took almost 1 year to take the first test.
Yeah, and was a specific moment that you changed it? You said to yourself, now it is the time. No more enrolation. No more dragging.
Okay,
Was
so
that a specific moment that you want to share here?
yeah, I started procrastinating when actually I made my plan of migration. What I did, like in 2019, I needed to decide my strategy. So I visit migration agent, and then I understood, like she actually explained to me what were my points and what I needed. And then actually I had the points for my profession. And, but well, to get more points, to score higher, I would need to improve my English. I would need to score like 79 plus in each skills, like listening, speaking, reading and writing. And then actually you were the first one that actually introduced me to PTE, because before meeting you, I even didn't know that was a thing. And then at that moment, I was speaking to her, and then I designed my strategy of migration. And that's when I said, okay, time to take the first test. And then when I actually, the time aligned because you were launching your first class, and I was like, wow, yeah, I was the first one. Like I was in the first class, the first group.
Yes, well, perfect match, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
And by that point, at that point, did you consider doing the IELTS test?
Well, at that moment, before knowing by you that PT was an option, I was studying for Cambridge, which is
Mm,
super hard. Um, but also, like, when you spoke about PT, I didn't know what it was until I started studying, and then I got that. Okay, some parts of PT is much easier than Cambridge, and of course, some things I think Cambridge is easier. Not easier. Cambridge is never easier, but I think they will require a lot more of grammar and things. But also, like, I think PT depend on how much, how many, what is the score that you need. You will require as well to have like some good knowledge of English, but it depends on each case. In my
yes.
case, I need to study like a lot of a little bit more of grammar and stuff to make
Yeah.
it.
So you started studying for Cambridge test, but you didn't even do
I
any of
didn't take it.
right.
I didn't take it. Oh wow, you convinced me to go to PTs. Right.
Yes. And also, when you decided, all right, no more Cambridge, and PTE is going to be the test, did you think about going online on YouTube and figure it out on your own how to learn some tricks from one person and then jump on another video all by yourself, like for free,
I
studying for free
did.
on the internet?
I did because I had no idea what it was. I think before you launching the class, I started, like, I even didn't know that you would start teaching the tricks. So I started to try to see, well, what is this thing that is pity, and then I start to see, and there are a lot of things on the internet, but actually it's hard to condensate everything on one thing. That's and then that actually helped me. And when before starting the class, I'm not sure. Like, I will start talking when I started the class, like the taking the class with in the group with you, because it's
Mhm.
before starting, I started to try to. I was enrolled already in your classes, but it
Mhm.
hasn't started yet. So I started to learn on my own, like, okay, I will start to study here because I was trying. And then what I found it like very interesting is that when I was trying to do it on my own, I would like, oh, it doesn't work. I can't do it. And then when we had the first class, so usually you give like the first as speaking, and then I could see that after I implemented your tricks and your suggestions, I would like straight away realize how much improvement I would do in that particular task.
Nice, nice. Good to see. Good to know that. And also, how did you know that I was about to launch my first class? Did you saw videos before?
Actually, I think because, well, we knew each other, and then you were the only one that I knew that had taken PT from that conversation in 2018 or some time around that.
Mhm.
And then I think I contacted you and said, oh, look, you spoke about PT, and can you just help me to find out how I can find some, like, how I can start study. And then you said, oh, I'm about to launch the class, and I said, wow, that's cool. So, and then
Right,
here,
cool.
here I
Nice.
am.
Yeah. And how do you feel about the community that it's built around the course? All the students sharing and getting to know each other, studying together.
I think that's the best part, I guess. Wow, the best part is understanding what we have to do and how to do. And then the second best part is you share your experiences, and then you have people who are struggling at the same task as you are, and then sometimes you say, look, oh, I got it, so let's do this way. So I even invited people to do some classes with me, because it's something that is pretty hard. So you are tired after work or after studying or after all of like many things that you're doing, and many times I didn't have enough motivation to start. So I would always try to commit to somebody for a date and a time, so I knew that I would study on that day. And actually I made friends with them, so they are friends. And then it was cool because you kind of get a support from each other, like you support each other. And I got many calls from friends. We became friends through your group, actually. And then they would like, oh, my test is tomorrow, so can you study with me? And like that's what happened. So, and especially because I was from the first class, the first group, and then I did the second, the number 6, actually, because then I took a while until like, and then I procrastinated again to do the second test, because I didn't want to start. But yeah, anyway, it happened. Like I was busy at the moment. And then
that's another thing about the course as well, that you have access, right?
yes,
You can change your plans. That it gives you flexibility, right, in your routine, in your life, right?
actually, I got surprised when I contacted you again, and I said, look, I'm gonna take the test, because the first test, it was enough to have my qualification recognized. So I got the points needed for that, but it wasn't yet what I wanted for the
Skilled visa.
migration part, yeah, for skilled visa. But anyway, so for what I needed at first, it was enough. And also for this school as well. And then when I said, okay, it's time to get it done, like as you say, like take it out of the way and just finish all the things that I need to do to the skilled visa. So, and then I contacted you again. I wasn't expecting that I would have access yet, still. And then you said, oh, you are still a member. And I said, oh, that's very cool. And then I did everything again. And the best thing, actually, that I would like to say is that after 1 year, because then you improved even the method even more. I could, because I was in the first group, so and then I entered on the 6th group, I could see like clearly like how amazing it was. And I went from like, and then I can really relate to one specific, many things actually improved, but one that really for me was like the golden tip was like speak faster and don't care much about pronunciation. I think when you have a little bit more of higher level of English, not super higher level, but like I was here for a year already, so I had a okay pronunciation, so I could speed up my all my speaking test, and then I got 90 on the second test. So for me actually it was the best thing, because I'm even looking here, like speaking was the worst in my first test, and then I went from like 67 to 90 on the second.
Yeah, so good.
Amazing.
Congratulations, right? It's a
Thank
hard work.
you.
It's so hard work. And it's so good to have you here, because you saw the evolution of the course, right?
Yeah.
After I created universal template, right?
That's another thing that actually, that's like the first thing is speed up, like from my perspective, speed up your speaking, like on reading aloud, and then the universal template. This is amazing because once you have the universal template, you just speak it. You just speak it up, and then you don't need to hesitate, and then you feel confident. So when you get through like less than half of your speak, like retail lecture, not retail lecture, is retail lecture as well, but we also have describe image or like all of them that requires like we speak a lot, so you get much more confidence, and then you have halfway through done, and then it just needs to introduce the keywords or the information related to what is on the lecture or image or whatever. This is really, really handy.
Yeah. And you had basically 2 blocks of study, right? You study on the first class, in the first group, and then you stopped for a while, and then you got in the 6th group again, right?
Yeah, so I had 1 year break.
Yeah. And this block, when you first got the course in the first group, how was your study routine?
It was a little bit like I would study 1 hour a day. And then what I did the last, I guess, 1 or 2 weeks, I took it off work because I wanted to really dive into the studies and do all the mock tests and stuff. And the second one, I was a little bit luckier because I wasn't working at all, and then I could study it like almost full time. So, and then it gave me actually opportunity not to study only the tasks I would study like 2 hours a day during the lockdown, but it gave me opportunity to reveal some grammar rules that we learned like many years ago or even like months ago, and then I didn't remember like ing blah 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 or like suffix prefix blah blah blah. So I could study things that actually helped me to do the listening part and reading part. So I would read as well. So yeah. Even when I was watching Netflix, what I love, it's like my favorite thing, I would watch with the subtitles on, because for me it was like a really training. So I was listening, reading, and comprehending and learning new vocabulary, and also learning like pronunciation. I would even like watch Netflix. I was a little bit like nerdy, I would say, because I started to watch like movies that would have a very for example, Da Vinci Code, because they have a very, what is it called? Like
technical vocabulary.
Yeah, exactly. So and then I learned, so they would use vocabulary that we are not usually like history things that usually they are on PT. And also I bought like a science magazine, and I would write like paragraphs on this magazine to learn some words, and then you also learn which word goes with preposition. So that's how I did.
Right.
And yeah, it's how it happens.
And that's a good job. That's a very dive deeping on vocabulary in different words, right? And how long you stayed in the process of studying these blocks? Was 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks until you do the test?
I guess I did 5 weeks because I started, because the 6th group hasn't had started yet. So 1 week I was only studying on my own, but I had already access to the portal, so to the student portal, so I could use it. So I was already enjoying the first lecture, and I was like enjoying the tricks and stuff, the tips and tricks.
Yes.
So what I did, because for me, repeat sentence was always like the pain in like the pain. It was always painful. And then what I did, I really took the first 2 weeks to I really did repeat sentence and read aloud and more repeat sentence. And then I realized at some point that, okay, repeat sentence, I'm using like different. I did an agreement with my brain actually. Like, okay, so you're gonna listen, and then you have like that 2 seconds, which so you gave us like three kinds of ways to try to write or remember, or I don't remember the another one. But what works for me is writing, but also it's not, and there is not enough time to write everything. So what I would try to do, it's write like as much as I could, but also at the same time I would try to decide in that very little time what I would do if I would say I forgot the second sentence, if I would say something, or if I would really take the risk and say the whole thing, even though I would say so. But it's something that I trained this 1-2 weeks. And there was sometimes that actually I was studying with the group, like for speaking groups, we did like some rounds. We were like 2-3 people, and each one would do like 3 repeat sentence, and then we would give a feedback to each other, like, you should speak more this, or you should do, let's try this, let's try. And then I remember that we all like laughed a lot when there was a super hard repeat sentence, and I said, what do you like it, what do you say always come to my mind, it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter what happens, never stop speaking. And then I remember that I couldn't say one word, and I just said like blah 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 blah. Like I literally like just like
Almost.
I made any sound, like it wasn't a word at all. It was just a sound, and I took like 80, and everybody like, how is it possible? But then it was because I didn't lose points for fluency, even though I didn't say any word, like not any word, that particular word. Like I didn't hesitate, it just was, and then kept going on what I knew.
Right. That's good. And what about booking your test? Did you feel a little bit scared to book your test? I'm not too sure if I'm totally prepared, or you just went for it?
I think because I was pretty determined to do the task, and I wasn't finishing my studies. I needed to apply for my UI, for people who know about skilled visa. I really didn't think too much. The first one I got scared, like I took a while longer to the first one, I mean like back in 2019. Sorry, 2020, sorry. Anyway, doesn't matter. I think it's 2020. And then so I took from 2018 to 2020 to book the first test, to really feel ready to do it. But the second one I was like, it's now or never. So and then I just booked it. So yeah. And then but because I needed 79 plus, I needed to book it again. And then so that's
And on the test day, when you're doing the test, the actual exam, was there anything special during the test that you want to share with us?
uh, there are some things that I would say it depends. I think it depends on where you're doing the task. The test. Usually, I do in the city in Sydney. They are very good. They are super
Yeah.
nice. But the first test, I could write the whole like template before counting the time. Now they are more strict with this,
Right.
so they only allow you to write the template when there is any time counting. So I used the time that I was supposed to talk about myself. Um, and there was the mask thing, but the mask was actually, from my perspective, the face mask was even better, because then I could put the microphone just in front of my mouth. And a difference that I found from the first to the second is that usually they have a book that opens like this.
Mm-hmm.
And my second test, I had a book that opened like this. It
Mm-hmm.
can be a silly thing, but for me, actually, it was hard, because where I put my notes, then it was hard to come, like, it was awkward. So what I did
Mm-hmm.
this the third time was writing on the top, the template on the top of the second page, so I
Right.
wouldn't waste the first, like I would use the first page for repeat sentence, and I would use the second page open all this way. So, and then
Mm-hmm.
the template would be up here, and I would be all the notes here. So, and then it was easier for me. But anyway, it depends on the thing. But uh, and I was a little bit nervous, but I think it's normal. Uh, but I think something that we need to think is, if we think that we made a mistake, we just cannot let that mistake to spoil the next task, because like you made a mistake before, so leave it behind and try to do the best after,
Yeah.
because otherwise you will be like, your emotional has to be very like aligned and calm to do it. But that's how I felt on the day, like.
Yeah. And leaving the test room, we are never sure what to expect or what to expect on our score, right? So we get even nervous, more nervous, and then you look at your email. Imagine, let's go back in time. Imagine you on your first time. You're looking your email and you got a very good score right in your first time, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. It's just because when we do the first time, and I think this is a good thing to share that I learned after. When I did the first time, I really wanted 7, 9 plus right away, like straight away. And then I know that many people do that, but I think there are lots of things that are related to that. So I didn't get the 7 to 9 plus in each score. Um, but then I learned, and then I actually learned with you that it's like a process, like you were improving. And then something that I did on the second test was like being more proactive with the mock test, and like, because then I knew how the test was already. I think it's like on the second test is even easier. Like I think you are more prepared. The first one, um I think I didn't, even though I practiced, I didn't give the attention enough to use the times that you give. Like I didn't, like, how can I say that? Like I didn't think that was that would be a problem, and I said, I should have like paid more attention at what like Bernardo said about that, because then when you are there and things are coming, and then you get scared about the time management. And it's something that on the second test, was very, very like, okay, you must know what are like really memorize what is the sequence of the task, the test, and what is coming. So, and then I even at some point I wasn't scared, even if I saw like scared if I saw like, oh, there's this amount of time, but I knew that I know what is coming, so it's enough. And then I had practiced a lot, so I knew that it would be enough. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's good. And how was your score progress in your first time and now in the last time?
I will say the overall, because I think it's easier. The first time it was 66. The second time was 7, and then the next was 80, and I was super close to 79 plus to all of them.
Almost, almost.
9, and then the two last ones I did like the full score, like 90 in speaking, and it was my worst skill in the beginning.
Yeah. Congratulations
Thank you.
again.
Thank you.
And if you can say one thing about the best of the whole course, what would you say?
Well, there are lots of good things. It's hard to choose one.
Choose a couple.
Okay, I would choose a couple. I think. Oops.
That's
Sorry.
okay. That's okay.
I think having someone that has taken the exams many times, and as you used to say, you say a lot on your course, like I did this and I know what works. And sometimes people come up with like different things and say like, well, could work, but I don't know because I have never tested it. It gives us this confidence on the method. This is a very good thing. And then the second thing is the community, like everybody helping each other, and people coming up with questions that you even didn't think before, and it's like, oh yes, that's very interesting. Or, well, I even put together to help, because I'm very communicative, as you know, and I love people. So I put together a WhatsApp group to share English tips, like grammar things and collocations that we are often, and they are majority people from your group, like people who are, yes, let's learn together. And then I even had on YouTube like a list of grammar things that helped me to support on the parts that I didn't know. And then we shared all those things on the WhatsApp group, of like PT WhatsApp group. I think it was amazing, and I think those are the two
Yeah.
better
And
things.
you were complimented as well. People were one of the best parts of the course, in my opinion, is when people start doing the test and posting. God passed, got my marks. I'm free from PTE, right? I went beyond PTE, and people are actually complimenting you on the
Yeah, that's true.
on the post, right? Saying thank you,
Yeah.
Bernardo, and also Camila for the whole support, for the whole study group and stuff.
Oh no. We just people, because some people, especially because I have been studying with you for a while, and I tested your method twice. The first one, and then now the improved one. The first one already was a very good, but the second one is more practical, and in my opinion, more what is the word? More like, it's more like right, and like it's
Yeah,
like
straight to the point.
exactly straight in the point. It's exactly this thing. And then it seems so simple that some people, because I'm very active in that group, some
Yeah.
people would call me like privately, like, but Camila, how do you do um describe image? And I said exactly how Bernardo's did. I know, but does it really work? And I said, well, I have an identity in speaking,
What else?
so I guess it works. And then people start to actually feel more confident when they speak to me in the when they just start, because it looks so simple that sometimes they feel scared of, oh, does it work?
But
But yeah,
it is
it
true.
does
Sometimes
work.
it's better, it's more intense when they see a colleague saying that it works. So
Yeah,
it
exactly.
matches and it connects more, I think.
Actually, I had one of Marcelo from our group that he was practicing describe image. Even though he was doing the course, he was practicing describe image on the same way that he used to before your course. And he called me like 2 days before his test, and he said, how do you do the like, he was the one that said. And then I spoke to him exactly how I did. Like I said, like, now I don't remember the template. The controversial issue regarding the top never fails, blah. And then anyway, we know that. And then I would say, and then I say blah 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 blah, and it said, and I said like, I do this way, and he said, okay, I will do this way. So and then he was the one that got like he was
Yeah.
super nervous on the day before. He called me. We did lots of tests together. It is nice too, like tests, like, and then he got like almost 90 on all the skills.
Super nice.
Yeah, he literally
Yeah.
did it.
Yes. And I'm gonna invite him to do a live with me as well.
Yeah, he like, it was so funny because he was terrified on the day before,
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 days before, and he was talking to me privately. And then I was saying like, don't be scared, you have a great English, and then you studied and blah blah. And then he wouldn't take a day off of work on the day before, and I said, you should do it, and then
Yeah.
he did. And many people were asking about the template for the essay as well, and I said, it works, I did this way. And then they also they would feel like, oh yeah, it works.
Yeah.
So we helped each other. So,
Yes, that's the contribution part. It makes us feel good, right? To share and contribute to the group as well.
and when we are learning, right? When you are sharing, you're learning together. So that's
Yes.
the best part.
Yeah. And one last piece for those who didn't get the marks yet or who didn't do the test yet, what would be your best recommendation for them?
Okay, for those who didn't book the test, go and do it, because yeah, it's the only way that you stop procrastinating is when you have a date.
Yeah.
Who has the test booked is this like studying, but studying uh, something that helped me a lot is write down all the sequence of the test, uh, being very mindful about the the time length that you give for all the tasks. And also at some point, what I do, for example, to because I don't like, it's my thing, I don't like to look at the screen and see the time and make calculation like in my mind, because I like to leave my mind completely to think in English. So what I do, I write down like, okay, I don't know, 33 minutes I started this one, so I know that I have 32 minutes, and I very quickly I put 30. Sometimes it's up or down, I don't remember, counting down or count up. So So if it's counting down, I do like 30, 29, 28. So, and then I just focus on the task, and then I do. And then I know that when the clock is showing 28, I know that it's time to go. And then sometimes it takes less time to do one, and then I can manage to use more time to do another one that I have, that I struggle a little bit more. So taking the notes of the time helps me to manage how I am doing the test. So
Yeah.
I think those would be my advice. And about time of the to take the test as well. So I am not a morning person at all. So my last test, I felt that, and then I don't sleep very well. It's something that is mine, that's me. So I need the morning time to, like, I need to sleep more in the time in the morning to kind of make it up for the bad sleep that I usually have. It's something about how I am.
Mhm.
So I just learned that the best time for me is taking the test between 11 and 2 p.m. But for some people might be 8 a.m. Or 10 a.m. If you have if you need a high score, maybe there are times now that they give like 8 p.m. Maybe if you need like 7 to 9 plus, maybe 8 p.m. is not, like, you need to understand how your body works and what is the time that you are most focused, like normally in life. So
Yeah.
that's one thing that also, for me, biological thinking made the difference.
Right. All right. I think it's very complete.
All covered.
Yes, all covered. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you for inviting
Yeah,
me.
yeah, it was
And
a great experience here.
so anybody
And I hope to talk to you soon. And I want you to get your 79.
I will. I
So
will. The
close,
next
so close.
December. December.
Yes. All right.
Yeah,
Good
we'll
luck.
take this out of the way.
Yeah.
I love
And I
I
see.
love watching your lectures, but well, I prefer to be free of them and then
Yeah.
enjoy my life working.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah,
All
okay.
right.
Thank you for
Cheers for
inviting
you.
me.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye. See ya.
See ya. That was Camila, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed and be inspired by her story. And if you wanted to sign up for the course, just click below this video here because registration is now open until Sunday, all right? Because the course is going to begin on Monday. So you can crack it up, the PTE, and go beyond it. All right? See ya.